or a victim of being one of the house staff and seeing something. Among other things, he exerted physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granted and threatening withhold financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking your whereabouts. So you couldn't leave. We've heard this before in the R. Kelly case. You couldn't come and go as you pleased. Dictating the victim's appearance, which means he wanted you to look a certain way. Hence the conversation about Cassie wearing the white nail polish on her feet and on her nails. He wanted her to look, a certain way when she was in the bedroom because he liked how the lights reflected off of the white polish. And funny, or maybe not so funny, did we see Young Miami doing the same thing. She started being commonly photoed with just her white nails on her hands and on her feet. So he just recruited a new boo. So not only did he monitor their appearance, he monitored their medical records, controlling their housing. So Cassie mentioned, it was mentioned that in one of the other documents that Cassie mentioned she could not run and go anywhere because he had purchased her mother a home. And usually a lot of times your abuser will do that because, one, especially if they've got money, we've seen it in What's Love Got to Do with It. I bought mama a home. And usually that's your first place. You're going to go back home. That's where you felt the safest. Those are the people that you know and love. But now he's controlling them. Because if you go, one, you don't want your family to lose everything that they've gained, because a lot of times you're trying to keep your indiscretions and the things that you're going through a secret. So you don't want to always disclose that information and make this guy look like the bad guy because you've been taking so much from him and you've been well paid for it. So now he's looking at your medical record. So he's trying to see who's got what's going on, who's coming into my facility by, maybe having reckless sex with other people. He just wants to be aware. He has got a control. Yes, he's a pimp. It ain't no way around it. He is a pimp. And all of the people that are around him under this enterprise were pimps. Wow, I can't. So monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. That's to keep you dazed and confused. I know that's right. I mean, a pimp's a pimp, but my idea of a pimp is completely different from what Diddy got going on. I don't even think, you said the diddler. I'm starting to get to a point to where I'm lost. I have a loss of words. There's nothing else that we can say. Everything that has been brought to the attention has been so extravagant from day one. It hasn't been like, oh, okay, well, we heard about the parties. Celebrities do this type of stuff. Oh, this person's lying. This person's not telling the truth. From what we've known about Diddy for many, many years and the stories we've heard to everything that's being corroborated right now, this man, you can't say that he's nothing more than he's a demon. He is a monster, and he is getting everything that he deserves right now. Right. He's a gorilla pimp. He's taking it. He's not even giving you the opportunity to say no anymore because he's forcing people. He's giving you the drugs. When he say it's freak off time, you know exactly what time it is. Period. And he say it's time to do a freak off. Everybody lines up. Whether you scared or not, you do exactly what he's saying. He ready for it, and you do it how he wants you to do it. He sits there. He controls the moves that you're making. He's controlling the drugs that you're taking. He is the director of this whole thing. And that's why it's going down as a RICO, because you hired these people. You brought these people into your world and coerced them by money and power. A lack that they had, but more of the power that you had. Oh, he had medical records because he was allegedly giving everybody herpes. Okay. So what, do you think he's trying to monitor their herpes? Or monitor who has herpes? Oh, this is too much. This is just way too much. Okay, it says, so during and separate from freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. The assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal from. So he was beating people so bad from these freak offs, if you didn't do what he said, that it took you days or even weeks to overcome your injuries. Combs also threatened victims' careers and livelihood, including if they resisted participating in freak offs.
This is deep.
This is so deep. Victims believed they could not refuse Combs' demands without risking their financial or job security, without repercussions in the form of physical or emotional abuse. And we forget that, even though we say, oh, you can't, I'm not going to have nobody threaten me no more times with my job, being beat up, drugs. I've had enough, right? But you forget that, yeah, you can say that, but that don't mean you can walk away.
Yeah.
That don't mean you can walk away. These people are terrifying.
When a nigga own your mother home.
Right. Or I'm just saying, being an associate or a worker.
By the way, he could evict my mother.
If I'm taking, better yet, I lose my job, I'm taking care of my family. Not only that, when I lose my job, this man could make my life more of a living hell because I know all his secrets.
Anybody that he was sexually with, losing your job wasn't the main thing. He purchased homes for you. He bought cars for you. He put you in a position where, nigga, you depend on me. You can't tell me not to show up. I know.
But they put him the leader of the enterprise, meaning they were all depending on him in some form of way. So now, so yeah, they depend on you.
Why exactly? They ain't talking much.
They depend on him.
Jobs. No. He made sure that they took care of.
Right.
So if you making sure everybody's dollar is good, then guess what?
Mm-hmm.
People gonna hold your secrets.
Right. It says during and separate from the freak offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. These assaults often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. Combs also threatened victims' career and livelihoods, including...
Trina said you should have known when the Big Papa leading woman was a transgender, he was normalizing.
Yeah. I mean, in his lifestyle, most definitely, because we wasn't paying attention to it.
If Biggie didn't know, guess what? We damn sure know Sean Combs knew. Because he's the manager. He's the one that puts the video together. He's the one that hired a director. He's the one that tell him how he want the video to be.
Okay, so here's this. Diddy made a comment. This was many, many years ago, and people have said it over and over before. He was making comments about partying at clubs and people holding their phones up, and not dancing and being in the vibe, right? Diddy has always been a dancer. We know him to be dancing throughout music videos and all of that, right? So, he's partaking. Now, we got to go to the other side of the lifestyle. He's partaking in parties, right? In a lifestyle where people are lying. They're sexually explicit because he doesn't have a problem with that. He's not open to the world, but he like a good freak off with anybody that can join, man or woman, right? Mm-hmm. So you're partying in these lifestyles. That means what? Ballroom dancing. If you don't know what ballroom dancing is for the gays and transgenders. So the transgenders come out because the history started with them trying to camouflage and being able to blend into society. So it's kind of like a contest. You come through, strut your stuff, and I judge you on how feminine you look, how feminine you dance. You get what I'm saying? Diddy is in these environments with people. Why? Because these same people that are at ballroom dances are his same people that are teaching Danity Kane how to strut their stuff. You forget that a lot of these dancers, makeup artists, fashion artists, are your transgender. A lot of these women are learning to be more feminine by your transgender. Why? Because it's so simply accepted in that society. You see them all the time. I'm not saying them as something far-fetched.
Because what was that black guy that he was like trans? He used to wear the poop, not RuPaul, but it was another one.
Who?
It was like a black dude. He was real feminine, but I don't know if he was in fashion or dance. I don't know, but he might have been in fashion.
And it wasn't RuPaul?
No, it was another dude. He's real dark though. He's always come on the RuPaul show and help her when she need people to come on and show him certain shit.
Oh, you're talking about Miss J. Okay, so Miss J, yes. But Miss J, he's in fashion. He's in the fashion world. But that's what I'm saying. For example, using that, exactly that. He put on heels and showed women how to walk on America's Next Top Model. He would give you the poise. That's what I'm saying. That's a whole man. That's a whole man. These men are in the industry carrying on feminine attributes, and men are attracted to them. So it's not.
So we went years. And here it is, 2024. We didn't know until Gene Deal said something.
That he was in Oakland.
Courtesy of Gene Deal. Nobody knew until he said it. And should I need to tell y'all that leading role was in that video was a transgender? She ended up getting killed because they found out she was a dude.
Yeah, Gene said she ended up offing herself, and I think that was pivotal. Right. He said that on purpose so that nobody can create the accusation of saying that something happened to her. Said J-Lo, the only one who ain't said nothing. He used to cry about her. What if she was the one who turned him into this? I don't know. You know what?
They all been doing it, and you want to know why they all been doing it? Because Mark Anthony was doing it with J-Lo. That's why they were doing it with. Well, a lot of people don't know Mark Anthony and J-Lo was swinging with allegedly with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith.
Right.
So Jennifer Lopez might have got introduced to it from P. Diddy.
Right. I mean,
either way, she was into the lifestyle.
Right. Listen, people have a right to do what they want to do sexually. But here's the problem. A swinging session with your man and another couple ain't no freak off. We sitting here reading about these freak offs. It don't seem like that's completely different. Right. It is not the same. It started off sounding like, oh, well, what's so bad about that? If he was a freak of the freak over here. Now it's like.
But it sounded like it started off like we was going to have sex. And then once the drugs got into you, and then I say, I'm tired now. You say, bitch, you ain't never tired.
No, right. Now you're exhausted.
Keep going.
You're exhausted. Now you're getting beat to do it. The pleasure's gone.
And then in the freak off, you making me do things that I necessarily wouldn't do when I'm having sex.
Right. I'm not into certain things.
You're making me engage with other prostitutes.
Right.
See, a lot of people forget this man will call prostitutes and have so he can masturbate while he's watching her have sex with other people.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is it comes to a point to where you thought, okay, this is consenting adults to only find out that these people are being threatened. They're terrorized to have sex. The only person having fun is Diddy.
Yeah.
So
because when you don't do what I tell you to do, now I got a problem.
Right. So the dynamics change.
You don't tell me no.
Completely
you don't tell
different
me when it's over. You don't tell me when to stop.
Right.
You don't tell me. And hence why she got her ass beat trying to get in the elevator. Mm-hmm. Nigga, this shit ain't over till I say it's over.
Right. And then going back into J-Lo, Gene Deal said he didn't have nothing bad to say about her because he said she wasn't with the shits.
And
she wasn't with the shit. And probably he was in love with her, but you got to understand, she, like he said, she had her own money. She had her own network. Right. She didn't need him. The rest of these people he can intimidate. Couldn't intimidate.
But let me give y'all some information, y'all, because you hear it always on Gangsta Cap Show first. Let me give y'all some information. Ja Rule got to make a decision. Either you gonna go to jail with P. Diddy, or you gonna work for the federal government, Ja Rule? And let me tell you why. We about to find out if Ja Rule still Murder Inc. You wanna know why? Because Ja Rule, as Gene Deal said, courtesy of Gene Deal, was in a freak off with P. Diddy.